Dear students, let's discuss few examples of direct proportion from the textbook. We are on textbook page number 63. You can see one example on the screen. There are some circles. Yes, there are 4 circles. All the circles are given the names A, B, C and D. Circle A is divided into 2 equal parts, right? There are 2 parts made of circle A with the help of 1 diameter. What about circle B? Circle B is divided into 4 equal parts with the help of how many diameters? There are 2 diameters, right? In circle C, there are 3 diameters. The 3 diameters in circle C make 6 parts, but they are not same. All the parts are not same. And the last one is circle D. The circle D is divided into 8 equal parts using 4 diameters. Now the question arises. Look at the picture below. We see divisions of a circle made by its diameters. We can see 4 circles. Do you see any relationship between the number of diameter and the number of divisions they give rise to? In figure A, 1 diameter makes dash parts of the circle. How many parts? 2 parts. Figure A, 1 diameter makes 2 parts of the circle. In figure B, 2 diameter makes 4 parts of the circle. What about figure D? In figure D, 4 diameter makes 8 parts of the circle. Right or wrong? Count how many parts are present in circle D. There are 8 parts. Yes? Now let's check out their ratio. Number of diameters divided by number of divisions. When we divide a circle with 1 diameter, there are 2 divisions. That means there are 2 parts of a circle. When there are 2 diameters, we have how many parts? We have 4 parts. In figure C, when there are 3 diameters, we have 6 parts. And of course, in figure D, when we have 4 diameters, there are 8 parts. Here, the ratio of the number of diameters to the number of divisions remains constant. Now tell me why this example is taken for direct proportion. With the help of 1 diameter, there are 2 equal parts. We make double of 1, it gives us 2. So with the help of 2 diameters, we have to make double of 2. So that becomes 4. Yes, double of 1 gives you 2. Double of 1 gives you 2. So if 1 diameter, then let's consider for 2 diameter. 2 parts are prepared with the help of 1 diameter, then double of 2 becomes 4. So 4 parts are prepared with the help of 2 diameters. Same way, if we take 4 diameters, so that is the double of 2. Considering figure B, there are 2 diameters. Yes? So we are making double of 2 to make the figure D. 2 diameters make double 4 diameters. Then 4 equal parts make double to form 8 equal parts. Right or wrong? Are you understanding? Thus, the numerator is 1 and the denominator is 2 for the first figure. When we make double of 1, we get the second step. 1 upon 2 is equal to 2 upon 4. So double of 1 is 2 and double of 2 is 4. We make 3 times to get the third step. So 3 times of 1 is 3 and 3 times of 2 is 6. and we make 4 times to obtain the fourth step, last one step. 4 times of 1 we get 4 and 4 times of 2 we get 8. So the ratio remains constant. That is why this is an example of direct proportion. Let's take another example on same page, page number 63. Now you tell me how to solve the second example. The number of notebooks that the student of a government school received is shown in the timetable below. Children with notebooks. There are 15 students, they get 90 notebooks. If there are 12 students, there are 12 children, they are getting 72 notebooks. When there are 10 children, they are getting 60 notebooks. And when there are 5 students, they are getting 30 notebooks. We are asked to find out how many notebooks does each child get. To solve this in an easy way, let me give you a tag. When 15 students are getting 90 notebooks, divide 90 with 15. Divide 90 with 15. So 15 multiplied with which number to obtain 19? When 15 is multiplied with 6, it gives you 90, right? That is, a child is multiplied 6 times to give them the notebooks. That means individual child is given how many notebooks? Every child is given 6 notebooks. Yes? Same way it is for all. 12 children and notebooks are 72. So 12 6 are 72, right or wrong? Same way 10 6 is 60. And the last one was 5 6 are 30. So every child is given 6 notebooks. Clear? This is a direct proportion. Let's take one more example. Example from textbook page number 64. If 10 pens cost rupees 60, what is the cost of 13 such pens? Pay attention. When there are 10 pens and they cost 4 rupees 60, what is the cost of 13 such pens? To solve this example, what we have to do is find out the cost of one pen. Okay, 10 pens cost rupees 60. Divide 60 by 10. So 60 divided by 10 will give you 6. Right? 60 divided by 10 will give you 6. So one pen will cost 4 rupees 6. Now we are asked to find out the cost of 13 such pens. So multiply 6 with 13. So 13 into 6 will give you 78. When you say the table of 13, you will get 13 6 are 78. It is so simple. Yes? So this is also an example of direct proportion. We were simply given the count of 10 pens. The cost of 10 pens was 60. So with the help of cost of 10 pens, find out the cost of 1 pen and then same number multiply it with 13 to obtain 78. So the finally answer is 78 cost of 13 pens. Now let me explain you the textbook method. 10 pens cost for rupees 60. So 10 is kept on numerator and 60 is brought down to the denominator. 13 pens cost rupees how much? We are asked to find out the cost of 13 pens. Okay, so number of pens are kept on numerator and its cost is kept on denominator. Same way, number of pens, that is 13, kept on numerator, and the cost we don't know. We are asked to find out the cost. So we are placing x on the price place. So that is 13 divided by x. Students, when there is equal to sign in between and both sides numerator and denominators are present, you have to cross multiply to solve the answer, to find out the value of x. Okay, so x is multiplied with 10. The numerator of the left side is multiplied with the denominator of right side, and the numerator of right side is multiplied with the denominator of left side, having is equal to sign in between. That means 10 is multiplied with x and 13 is multiplied with 60, keeping multiplication sign in between. So 10x is equal to 780. 13 multiplied by 60 gives you 780. To find out the value of x now, when there is equal to sign and both sides equations, both side terms, the 10 is brought down to the denominator of the second side. If you want to bring the numerator 10 to the right hand side, you have to divide it. You cannot bring it to the numerator only of the next side. So x is equal to 780 upon 10. 780 upon 10 gives you 78. Therefore, the cost of x is 78, cost of 13 pence. Thank you.